The Boys, Season 5, Episode 1, the beginning of the final season. And this episode, the thing about The Boys for me, like, The Boys is not one of those shows I go, oh my god, these episodes are amazing. Like, I always watch it, but I still always have, like, there's always this, there's always that, and there's, like, this and this. I found that was at least uninteresting, or whatever. Right? This episode, and maybe it is the whole concept of it being the final season, so it's we got 8 more hours, it's, now 7 after watching episode 1. We, pedal to the metal, it's going to be pedal to the metal, and what you have here in this episode is really strong stuff. I mean, what we have here is Homelander is accepted to the world, or at least accepted to America. He is beloved, and he is insecure to the people who are not fans of him, because he's getting memed, and he's like, memes, memes about me should be illegal, should be a crime, and I'm like, is Homelander that petty? Like, is Homelander that much of like, you don't know how the internet works, do you? Or like, it's just bullying. Like, Homeland is so insecure that any question of, is he that blunt? And the answer is yes. And like, any exposes Homelander with the flight, way back in season 1. And the response, like, you realize that if they released that video, like season 2 or season 3, it would have worked. People would go and say, Homelander, get out, you're a monster, because at the time, Vought was a brand. Vought was, Homelander's now the brand, Vought at the time was, so it's like you're hurting the Vought brand, people do not, value anymore. Now, basically Homelander is beloved, and, he is essentially president to the world and all, at least in the US. They can spin it. They can spin it. They can say the words, oh, it's just AI. It's AI, Starlight just made some AI bullshit. Even though that must be the best fucking AI I have ever seen. Not even Sword could make something like that. Not even, Seedance could make something like that. And Seedance is the one that is the most realistic. Just pause a frame and make your hands kind of fuzzy. That looks like your hands look fuzzy to make it look like you got extra fingers. Oh, God. The thing about The Boys, it is very hard not to talk about certain political things. It's really hard because it's like a lot of parallels. It's meant to be commentary on those aspects of things. But I don't lie. Vault's prisons, outside, there's a possibility of getting shot or get killed by Homelander or get blown up. Like, having, like, I don't know, burgers every day for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I don't know, that kind of sounds kind of good. And that. The Jami uniform seems, sure, you have Homelander's face on your all the time, but it's not, I don't know. I mean, sure, that it's prison, it's still prison, but it's not that bad. The scene, there's a couple real tense scenes. I mean, the scene between Butcher and his dad, who clearly he killed him. Clearly Butcher killed his dad, who clearly, was very abusive towards him as a child. And that was an intense scene, because you're like, what is he doing here? It's just really decent dialogue out through. So you're like, really good performances. So you're like, okay, where's that coming from? The scene dealing with A-Train at the end, which I will hit spoilers at the very end about it, because that was a shocker. That was a shocker. But anyway, but The Boys, let's be honest, is the universe of that image going to burnt into my brain, aka like termite and all that kind of stuff, heroism, and stuff like that. So having a character who is basically a beaver, and he's going to eat dirt, and I'm like, okay, fair. But then, of course, it's The Boys, so The Boys are going to make it gross that, he needs to drop his pants to do it, and he's a Ken doll because of it, and he has to, and when he eats the dirt, it shits out. He's a fertilizer. It comes, it eats one way, and, the dirt fires back. I was like, okay, it's not the weirdest thing, but like, fucking hell, guys, let's not, angst words to words here. Like that's a bit like, what the hell, and that, and the end of Love Sausage. I had to ask this question, like, we see him being the shit out of his, like, 1,000-inch dick. I don't know if would that not hurt to just smack a guy like it's a baton? Yeah. Would it not be like? Would it not be that? Like, seriously, like, would it not be that bloody? Like, I just sometimes with love songs, I'm like, that hurt, but that didn't. It's like, I don't know. The line from Herogasm still haunts me. Your sweaty powers. And immediately when I heard that, I said, "You poor girl." A poor girl. I was like, "You poor girl." Thank God there wasn't a wreck. There could be flipping lifesavers going on around the place. But thank God it's at the end of the Love Sausage. And that, what else? Oh yeah, Homeland saying mother's milk. Ugh. Like any time that the breast milk fetish comes into play, even like cow's milk, I go, ooh, blah, 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 blah. So why do you keep making it creepy and weird? But yeah, okay. So the last thing to talk about, spoiler, is A Train. This is the definite A Train, which is kind of interesting because like I knew someone was going to not make it by the end of this first episode. Like I knew it. I knew someone wasn't going to make it. I had a feeling maybe it would be Mother's Milk, because Butcher, you have couldn't be Butcher, couldn't be Annie, it couldn't be Frenchie, because how important Frenchie is, who seems for the entire story. So I thought like maybe Mother's Milk, maybe. And also it wouldn't be Huey, because Huey's like the second, third main character of the show, so he's gonna make it. I mean, clearly, I think Huey's gonna live by the end of the season. I think that's the only character I'm like, yeah, he's gonna survive. Huey is the only one I'm going to be like, yeah, he'll live, because I wouldn't be shocked. We'll see, the buy of Soups, and we're gonna see this like massive like, to kill Homelander, we need to kill all the Soups, and it's going to be that situation. But you have this like neat little action sequence of Homelander chasing A Train, and which links to Homelander snapping his neck. And it's surprising because it's like he's the kind of the first, but he's kind of like the character that kind of set the whole story in motion. Like A Train being the character that if he didn't ran into Huey's ex-girlfriend and killed her, the story wouldn't, the story of the boys wouldn't be immense. So having that character being the first one to go of the season, and also him having the arc, like the arc is, asshole, see his redemption, see his mistakes, trying to amends his family, his home. And probably the final step was him staying at the Homelander face to face. And of course it bites him in the end. And the reason was simply because he hits Homelander's insecurities. Let's be honest, Homelander is one insecure motherfucker. This dude is so insecure, it's hilarious. It's stupidly hilarious how insecure this guy is. So it's one of those situations. But yeah, this episode's pretty good. I forgot the girl's name who's the mute. Her dropping F bombs and Z bombs left, right, and center. It kind of feels like we need her to say eat a dick or say fuck you all the time for like just I don't know, it just feels like, hey, we haven't heard her speak and this show is quite, nasty with its words, so let's nasty on the show in general. So let's just have her say it, every line that she says it's some like innuendo or some takedown that involves like her dropping C bombs 4 times to mock Butcher. Oh, and also, like, I couldn't help but, like, because realistically this would be a thing about the plane video, that people would make TikTok dances out of it. It's funny because it's true. Anyway, you've seen the episode, comment below, and let me know your thoughts.